Hello, Akko here again. Welcome back to Direwolf 21.7.10. I've got some new wings. I changed my wings for the dragon ones. Kind of thought they'd suit the armour a little bit better. I'll probably move on to some different kind of armour soon because I've had this on for quite a while and I like to mix up a little bit. What have I done since last time? I've been doing a lot. So as you may remember from last time, I have not been doing episodes on this series quite as often because I'm doing a lot of off-camera work. I'm upgrading my AE system. It's kind of confusing. I'm going to change something around a little bit, I think. My issue is I've got 8 channels in each of these, and I've got 4 rooms. I've got 6 rooms in each of there, so I'm kind of overlapping. So I've got 6 green channels and 2 lamb channels, and 2 lamb channels on that floor, followed by 4 pink and then 4 pink up there. It's confusing. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to add a channel each to each floor of here as well, so that there's a different number of floors, isn't there? Yeah. So this will be lime green from 1 plus 6 plus 1, and then that'll be pink 1 plus 6 plus 1. So I've got 8 for 8, 8 and 8. I think that's going to be a bit simpler. Anyway, I'm going to get back to that in a minute. Before we get to that, a couple of things. I have turned off my reactors, in fact, and I've turned off my laser drills because I came on yesterday, I think, and I need to put a facade under there, don't I? I came on yesterday, and this guy was full. At the minute, you can see it's got 44 items, and it's got 24,000 bytes used. It had 50 odd items in, but it had all the bytes used because I've got loads of stuff that I'm not processing. I've got this unprocessed ores 64k drive that I made, so if I put that in there for a second, you will see that I've got all them ores that aren't being processed. They're just piling up. I've got 60,000 coal ore to deal with. Oh dear. The laser drills are working crazily. All of my ingots over was full and was going into that chest, so I've had to upgrade. I've upgraded all them to 64k's. So we have got an absolute shit ton of ingots. Let's have a quick look in here. 101k of iron. It's nuts. So yeah, so I've turned off the laser drills, and because I turned off the laser drills, I thought I might as well turn the reactors off because there's no point in running them. Because I've got two and a half, well, it's gone down to 2.3 trillion RF. So you can see that's going down. We're using 1600 RF. That is the ME network. It's using 1600 RF a tick. It's getting bigger. Yeah, the ME network's growing. So I will have to turn them back on at some point. I'm seeing no rush at the minute. What I have done is, you remember early in the series I was using these 2 guys as my power. I've just put them there as a bit of a backup power source if I do run out. They're only going to put out 600 though, so they're going to get things back going again if it does run out. So a bit of an issue, So yeah, I turn off the laser drills with a lever there, does this wing, and I've got a lever up on the conduit facade on this side, it's up there. And that made me realise I need to make some kind of control room at some point. So I've added that to the to-do list. I want to put some kind of redstone control room where I can turn the reactors on and off, and turn the laser drills on and off and stuff. Unfortunately, for the turbines, when you're spinning them up, you want the coils disengaged, and then when you want them engaging when it's running. And I think the only way I can do that at the minute is with Computercraft, which it's a wonderful mod, but it's just not for me. I just don't enjoy it, so I don't use it. Well, hopefully at some point we'll get redstone control on there like we get on this one, so I can actually use redstone to put the engage and disengage the coils. I'm fairly sure there's no redstone port. Just double check so I'm not making a liar of myself. That's for the reactors, yeah. Sorry for the dog barking. Well, the neighbour's dog's a bit noisy at the minute, if you can hear it. So yeah, there's no redstone port for the turbines yet. Hopefully that'll come in time. So right, what have I been doing then? Let's have a look. Start down here. So last time you saw me, I had done all this colour stuff. That's working very well. That's full at the minute, so I can't show you, but I've sent that back to the colour applicator maybe about 15-20 times, and it's come back to me every time. So whatever issues I had with the MBT, I think it was causing me issues on it, is now sorted. So as long as I put that back to white, and that reminds me, comment, let me know that if I press shift I can mouse wheel scroll through the colours, which is also very nice, so thank you very much for that comment. So yeah, I have been doing lime channels and I've been doing pink channels up to now. So as you can, well, you can't see anything from there, but what you can see here is, so what I mean about it being confusing, because there's only 6 rooms up there, them first 6 rooms are the 6 rooms on floor 1 of the east wing. so east 1. But then the pneumatic craft and industrial craft are on floor 2. Then we've come around here, and the middle two floors, the middle two rooms of floor 2 are at the minute not got much in them. And then the end 2, which are actually rooms 5 and 6, I've got down here 3 and 4, and my 2 auto crafting rooms that I've made. So it's confusing things. I think I'm gonna have to change the way I'm doing it. It's not conducive to easy understanding at the minute, and I'm not sure if I'm really keen on the colours. It's not making it that much easier. I think I'd rather have it all one colour and look nicer than have it all different colours. We'll go up here and we'll go through the rooms. I'm going to start with the second floor. So if you remember, if you're not English and you're thinking why does he mean saying second when he means third, in England we call this the ground floor, this is the first floor, so this will be the second floor. In America this would be the third floor. So what I've done is I've expanded my auto crafting capability by making, we did have 3 molecular assemblers in this room, I've now got 6 in this room, and I've made a second identical room. So we've got 6 in here, so I've got 12. Each one has got 5 interfaces, so I've got a total of 60 ME interfaces. So is that 540 recipes capability. I've put a crafting terminal in each room as well. I'm having all the cables showing, so I kind of like the way they look though when they're embedded into walls, which is a shame because I think that looks really nice, but I also kind of want the cables showing. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I might change that around a little bit, but there we go. I've got loads of crafting capability there. I could, I suppose, do this on a trigger and turn all them off when they're not running, because they do draw a lot of power, I think. Let's have a look. What kind of power do these guys pull even when they're not doing anything? No, they don't pull any power, but I bet the interfaces do. They're pulling 34, that's not too much. Well, 118, meh, not a great deal. Quite a lot of controllers pulling power, of course. Well, never mind, it's not like I ain't got enough power to go around, is it? So yeah, so that's these 2 rooms, and then I suppose I should mention this bit as well first. You can see, by the way, you can see through the facades because I've got this network tool set there, so you can see through facades, which is quite handy. So at the minute, if I take that off my bar, you don't have to have it in your hand, it just has to be on your bar. Take that off my bar, then the facades come back. Unfortunately, the facades on the lab blocks don't have the connected textures, which is a bit of a shame. These connect okay, the clear ones, but that looks a bit of a mess. As you can see, I've got the same setup all the way up. We should start in the basement with that, really. Let's go down to the basement. What I've got down here is these lines coming out of here are remnants of the old way I was doing it. So that's the one that's doing the terminals in the corridors, and nothing else, I don't think. This is still sending stuff via the ME interface into the Ender IO system, which I don't think I'm using much of now. Most of it's been pulled out. But this is the LAN that actually counts. So this LAN is the one that's going up, and if you look through the glass there, you can see it's kind of going up to each floor. So it's going straight up there through all the floors and then branching out to each of the rooms. Then each of the rooms has got a P2P on the end that matches up to one of these. Yeah. We've also got some facades in here. If I put that back on my bar so you can see, I've also got some of this. This bottom row of iron is the bottom of the beacon base, but the row above it steps in one because the beacon, yeah. So this is 9x9, the next one's 7x7, so I've got room to get a cable up there. So this cable here, this one that you can see I'm looking at now, actually connects to the cables up the top onto the fake ME controllers. So this is the one that all the terminals and stuff are coming through up there. At the minute, that is connected to that survivalist generators, and they're connected to the 3 crafting CPUs. But they'll eventually all be connected to this one. Is the plan. So this line will be going. This line here is going to be going. So all you're going to see off this thing is we're going to have that line out the back there, which is for all the stuff in the ME spider room. We have this line out here which goes to the east, and we're going to have a matching one out this side that goes to the west, and possibly one more that does other stuff like the turbines and stuff if I need it. So that's how it's going up there. So if we look at any floor, you can see I've got that same red line of dense cable going down each area. And if we look in any room, so if we go right to the top now, let's not bother. If you look in any room, you can see that each room has got its own P2P tunnel in the room, which I will gradually add to. So every single room's got one of them. And you can see another one over there, and then so on and so on. Next one. This episode's going to be mostly me talking, by the way, if you haven't realised already. I am going to do a little bit of sorting something out near the end, but I'm not going to get to that for a little while. So, there we go. Auto crafting room B, auto crafting room A, they're exactly the same. Next utility stuff, that can't be automated, which is a bit of a shame. So, I can semi-automate this by having a terminal in here that can put stuff into a chest that I can then manually put in there. So, just next to it. Going to be my laser room, but that's not got anything in it yet, apart from the P2P tunnel. And then IC2. I want to automate this pretty soon because I'm really underutilising these advanced panels because I can't be bothered to make them. But I'm using them on the doors and stuff, but they're only single ones. I want big ones all over the place. And you can see anywhere you look, you can see where it goes in. And then of course pneumatic craft, which I've not really touched since I finished my elevators because that's the main thing that I wanted it for. And right, so this is the business floor that I'm doing a lot of stuff in. I've been doing a lot of work. I'm going to start at this end and then work my way backwards. But the first we've got in here is the colour applicator. I've left that exactly as it was. It's kind of grown on me. It's a bit ugly, but it's kind of grown on me. The only ugly bit really is if I move this out one and then move that in one, then the routing of this red alloy wire would be to the outside, so I wouldn't have to route it over the top of this chest. That's the only reason why it looks ugly, really, because I'm going to route this red alloy wire over that chest to get a signal to this. So I might do that. This bit's all tidy enough in the corner. Someone in the comments said I don't need that chest. I actually do, because if that was the chest, if that was the ME chest, you can't think of an ME chest as a chest. It's the actual thing that goes inside it is the chest, if you want to put it that way. So it's the actual applicator, when it's in there, becomes the inventory. That's not an inventory on its own, that's just a holder for an inventory. So if that was there, when I put the applicator in, it'd trigger the redstone signal that turns these off, so it wouldn't actually get any paintballs in. So the comment said that I could just, there's no need for that chest, it's doing the same thing. It's not. What it's doing is when this gets full, sets the trigger off, it stops any more going into there. That's already got its stock in there, but this redstone signal will stop any more going into there, and then that intermediate chest can be put into the applicator. So I do need that. Right. What I've done up here then is I have moved the inscriber stuff from which was in where the molecular assemblers are on the next floor up now. Moved all them down here. I've done the most basic setup you can with this. This is how Azanor shows it on his video. Sorry, not Azanor, that's Thaumcraft. How Algorithm, bring it over here. How Algorithm showed it on his video, so that's the way I've gone with, because if that's how the mod maker likes it, then that's kind of how I like it as well. So basic, very basic. We've got an ME interface with each pattern. In these ones, with just a import bus, so they get crafted as intermediates and go back into the network, and then this can pull things separately. So we've got a little setup here. So if you looked at Algorithm's video, it's exactly the same as his. We've got a little subnetwork interface with the 3 patterns for the 3 finished processors in, and that's just an interface there to allow them to go in. And we've got storage buses on the top, bottom and side, redstone, the 3 different circuits, and silicon on the bottom. And then we've just got we've got an import bus back on the main network just to take them back out. So whenever you do a job request for processors, it does them and then it does that bit, and that's just a little subnetwork. So that works perfectly nice and fast and simple, and no mess ups. Really clean way of doing it. So that's the way I've done that. This is exactly the same. I've just moved the matter condenser up there for the paintballs, and that's still running off the level emitter. This is just a charger, which is very simple again. ME interface with a pattern there to turn normal status into charged, with an import bus, puts it back in. And then there's this thing, which I did a video on yesterday, which, well, I've just done a video on today, but it'll come out yesterday, for automating the Fluix, the pure crystals. Now I've just had to redo this because I realised that I'd not set up to do Fluix, so I've redone the video that you'll have maybe already seen, and I've set up for this. The only difference between this and the one on the video is I don't bother with the status, not the status. I don't bother with the nether quartz. I just do the pure and the Fluix, pure Fluix, pure Certus. I don't bother with pure Nether Quartz because I'm using Britannia just to double my Nether Quartz, so I don't need to double it again. It seems a bit superfluous. It's a big word, isn't it? So there we go. 5 crystal growth accelerators. ME interface with the patterns in to craft them 3 items, and that all works fine and gets me the things I need. So, for example, if we look at Fluix, I've got in the system's able to make Fluix. I've set that, you can see there's a craft pattern there. So it can make Fluix crystals. The system can then also, in fact, let's look at craftable. It can make Fluix crystals. It can then make Fluix dust from them Fluix crystals. It can then make Fluix seeds from the dust, with sand of course, and then it can make pure Fluix from the seeds. So it can do the full thing from the charged. It can also, because that of course needs charged, it can also make the charged from the normal Certus, and it can grind the Certus ore up, so it's all good. That's all sorted. So that's that little system there. If we step into the next room along, not done much in there yet, just run the cable in, not changed anything. Not changed anything in there either. These 2 rooms need a bit of thought put into them. I'm going to get rid of all the Ender IO stuff. Apart from that, I'm going to keep Ender IO power, but I'm going to get rid of the, I'm going to go all A2 is my plan. Just because I can. And then this is the room I'm going to work on for the rest of this episode. Before we get to that, I'm going to show you these 2 rooms. I've kind of gone with a bit of a mash-up between systems in this. I could, so this is quite a bit different than you last saw it. I've got extra utilities, transfer lands. I'm really starting to like these. I've seen these a long time and not really used them much. I've kind of been forced to use them in Utopia because we didn't have Ender IO. And now I've started using them, I'm really liking them. I'm liking them more and more. If I was starting this world again, I'd probably use them over the Ender IO. I've not got anything against Ender IO, I just like these a bit more. What I want these to do is round robin into each of these. The Ender IO ones can round robin, but I like the way these, I like the hyper rationings, which it puts 1 in each and it does it really nice. What I've got under here is, I can show you quickly by putting my network tool back on. Right, these conduits you actually have to have it in your hand. So I've still got Ender IO power. Yeah. So the power's running to, I've got 20 of these in here. 20 stag mills, then 20 alloy smelters, and we'll have 20 alloy smelters in the next one. And what I've got here, so it's still powered through that. I could have powered it through the transfer nodes as well, the transfer line, but I want to keep it separate. So we've got a mashup between A2, extra utilities, and Ender IO under the floor in here. It's a bit weird, but I'm kind of liking how it all works together. What I've got in here, on the A2 part, we've got an ME interface that lets me put in things that need sag milling. So basically them 4 things up to now, but there's going to be other stuff that I can go in there. And I've got that as a block ME interface because our output from these, using a retrieval node, goes back into there. Then I've also got a ME storage bus, which at the minute it's just got that in, just so it didn't pull anything in. I didn't want it to pull anything in, so I just chucked that in when I was using it earlier. But this is going to get all the ores and stuff in that are going to want to get sag milled. So iron ore, gold ore, Certus quartz ore, I think I might just going to put diamond ore and coal and stuff in here as well, so they all get sag milled. And I don't need to fortune now, I've got that much. So that's all going to go in here. And what that'll do is the laser drills will pull it into here, and from there it's going to get hyper rationed into these. So if I do select something, let's make some, oops, let's make a couple of stacks of that. 163, yeah, let's have 4 stacks of that stuff. We haven't got enough, I need to make some more. Nether quartz, unbelievable. So what you're going to see is, what? There we go. So it's chucked the stuff in there, from there it goes into there, and as you can see it's done that 64 really quick, because it just slings it all in one at a time, and it utilises all 10. It's not that important for this, I just like the way it looks when they all light up and they all go off. So what we've got is a transfer. I'm saying so too much, I apologise. I say certain things too much, and I try and work them out, but it takes a bit of doing. I say first of all too much, first of all, and I say so too much, and I am still. Anyway, transfer node, just with 64 speed upgraded for a full stack. So what that does, that pulls out anything into here, and then these have all got hyper rationing, which means each one gets 1 thing, and then whenever it's empty it gets 1 thing again. And because of the speed upgrades, it happens that quick that they're constantly getting 1 thing. So they go through stacks of stuff really quick. If you're doing parallel processing, you're getting 20 things done at once rather than waiting with 20 things stacked into one machine. Very nice. And then the retrieval node just pulls things back out of there. No, it doesn't. I've said it wrong. I have said it wrong. Let's look at the dust. I bet we haven't got much more than we had. Or have we? I think we did get it all. I'm not sure if that's going to send stuff straight into there, or is it going to send it back into that. That shouldn't retrieve stuff out of that. That shouldn't send stuff to that. It might work. I might need a filter in that. I have to double check with that. I don't think that'll retrieve stuff out of that, because that's it shouldn't be able to pull out that chest, should it? Yeah, I think I'm safe. I might have to put a filter in there. But anyway, so that's that room. This room next to it is going to be exactly the same, but with the with the smelting. So exactly the same setup. Stuff that needs cooking separately. Storage bus onto this resonant cell, resonant strongbox. Transfer node, retrieval node. Exactly the same setup. So I've got 20 things smelting at once, nice and fast. And then this is the one where I really like it, where I really want this to work. So what we're going to do, what we've got in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want another 12 alloy smelters. So let's have 12 more of them. And I'm going to want octadics for them, aren't I? So I have 12 of them as well. There we go, 12 of them guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10, and then right toolbox behind it. Yep. Ooh, FPS is a little bit getting hammered. It was fine earlier, and now when I want to record, it's going a bit messed up. So 20 of them. These are all going to be set to alloys only. This is where the hyper rationing nodes really come in handy, because this is where it works better than if I was using round robin on the. Cool, I thought I made a load. I've not made enough though. This is where it works better than the round robin, because these are going to be set for alloys, and the alloys obviously have more than one thing going in. So if you was round robin in, what could happen is you'd get like. So let's look at the alloys that I mean, so you know what I'm on about. So let's look at vibrant alloy, for example. So this stuff, vibrant alloy, it's energetic and ender pearl. So excuse me. Want two things in there. So if you're round robin in, it'll try and put the energetic in there, and then the ender pearl in there, then the energetic in there, ender pearl, and then it'll go around again. Whereas this, it'll just let energetic go in them all, and then ender pearls go in them all. It's probably just as quick, but I just like it. Just there. You've got to do what you like, don't you? And I like the way this works. So I'm running the normal transfer pipe from the bottom here, on the back, so it looks tidy. And then back to the. I've got enough. Oh, yeah, I needed 20, didn't I? There we go. So there's the first part. Now what I'm going to want is to sort this out so it's like the other one. This one though, we don't actually need the storage bus, because we're only going to do alloys in here. And if you look at our alloys, we have probably got 9, I think. We've got, let's have a look. Ender alloy. We have got electrical steel, energetic alloy, vibrant alloy, redstone alloy, conductive iron. Don't need any of that because we won't make any more of the lower level energy conduits. Pulsating alloy we need, dark steel, solarium, and we don't need coal powder. Enderium base, we don't need that. No, we'll do that a different way. That's interesting though. Well, I might want that as well. That makes it 10 though, so I need a second. That is interesting. So that's just, instead of using the pulverized enderium, pulverized stuff, it just uses full ingots, which takes out that pulverizing step that we have there, isn't it? That's that step. It takes out that pulverizer there, so it will make that quicker. Okay, interesting. I'll add that as well. So I need two ME interfaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we'll need 2 of them. I'll just leave Solarium out. I don't use much of it. So I'm gonna get that sorted out. I'm gonna get the little bits I need made up and ready to put together, and then I'll get the patterns made, and I'll come back and put it together, and I'll show you how it works. Right then, 2 issues. One is I can't count because there's clearly not 9 things there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which means I did have room for that. But I've got an issue, the fact that because these are set to hyper ration and that recipe requires 2 tin, then it's not going in because it puts in a tin, a silver and a shiny, which is exactly how I want it to do. So when it's got multiple stuff in, it actually puts one of each thing that it can in, and then unfortunately it puts the next tin in there. So for recipes that have more than one thing, then I'm going to have to set up a separate alloy smelter for them. So I am going to set up the Endarian one because I think it makes sense to do it like that rather than pulverize it, because it'll be a bit quicker still, but I'm going to have to set it up separate. These all are one things to make the 2 things, yeah? So yeah, unfortunately that ain't going to work exactly how I want it to, but I have got a way of making that work, so not to worry. So what I want to do here is I want to break that. My inventory is a mess, so what's going on? I don't think I need them. I don't know why I've got my chisel left. I haven't used that for about an hour and a half. I need my wrench now. I'll put that away. So let's get my wrench out, and I want to turn this ME interface into a full size one, like so. So that now should be able to push recipes into there. So that, will you push into there, or do I need a transfer node? We may need a transfer node there. I guess we can find out. Let's try and craft something. So craftable, let's craft 8 of them, and it's either going to get stuck here or it's going to craft. It's not crafting, which makes me think it's stuck there. So if I break that off, put that on there, and then put my hyper rationing pipe in there, then it should. It's going to go really slow. Just going to skip that one. You see what I mean? No, I ain't got power, have I? As if I haven't put power in. But as you can see, what should be happening is it's filling them up in order, which is good. And if these had power, then it'll all be working right, because it'll be filling them up a lot quicker. A couple of things I need then is I need 2 stacks of them. Stored craftable. Oh, I've got loads of stacks of them already. Okay, 2 stacks of them. I need to make a retrieval node to pull things back out once they're done. So I've got a stack of these for that, and I need a stack for a retrieval node. Retrieval node, I'm actually going to have to just quickly make one. So I need 2 of them, and 2 ender pearls. I've got added no ender pearls, I need to sort that out, and emerald, which I've got absolutely loads of emeralds. And if we run into the manual room upstairs, chuck them in the thing here. Oop. I can go like that, and get one of them. Nice one. And what I need to do is, see what, I'll just cut and run power line underneath the machines as if I forgot to put the power in. I've got them octadics ready made, haven't I, for them, so they all need an octadic in as well. There we go, I've got all them made. So yeah, I'll run the power under there and connect the power to the power line here, and then we'll do that again. Right then, I'm a goldfish. I completely forgot how I did this in my test well this morning. I actually need to separate the streams like Ghostbusters, and to separate the streams coming out of the chest here, out the strong box. So I do in fact need a strong box. I've made it so it's the same as the setups in the other 2 rooms, but on this one, because we've got multiple items coming out, if I ask for more, I've got 20 smelters here. If I ask for more than 20 of an item, then what's going to happen? If it all coming up the same transfer node, it's going to get stuck in there. So I've got 3 filters, and I've got all the items we need. And what I need to do is work out which one needs to go in each filter. So I think it's going to work out okay. So in our first filter, we're going to have that for the electrical steel, that for the vibrant alloy, that for the energetic alloy, other way around, sorry, that's energetic, that's vibrant. Redstone and silicon is for the redstone, so we've already got the redstone in there. Soul sand and gold is for the solarium. Iron we've already got in there, is for the dark steel. Iron we've already got in there is for the, sorry, for the pulsating iron. And iron we've already got in there is for the dark steel. So that is what we need in one of the filters. I hope you're following me. So that's going to go in there, and we can get them first ingredients out. So iron can go, redstone can go. Did I put them all in there? Iron, redstone, energetic alloy can go, soul sand can go, energetic alloy and soul sand. Cool, so that's all the first slots. And then the second slot is going to be coal, gold, ender pearl. We'll save silicon for the third slot. We've already got gold in, we've already got ender pearl in. So I've already got that in. I think that's right. It's tricky, isn't it? I'm making it tricky, one of the two. So that's pulverized coal, gold and ender pearl. Pulverized coal, gold and ender pearl is all in slot 2, yeah. So then slot 3 wants to be glowstone, silicon or obsidian. So glowstone, we'll start with silicon because it's just the right order. Silicon and then obsidian. So they can go in there. And that can go in there. So what we should see now is if we request, so let's go with dark steel. And now I'm going to take all that out there in a minute so we can see clearly. And I'm going to request 64 dark steel. What we should see is all of these light up. Cool. And what you should see is we've got a stock of stuff in them waiting to go in. That's exactly what you'd expect to see. So it's processing 20 at a time instead of 1 at a time, and that's all waiting for it to go. So it's done another 20, and then when that goes out, it's going to do another 20. So this seems to work as well. So this is only pulling in what we want it to. It's only pulling in the output of the machines. It's not pulling in the inputs. So that's good. And it looks like, no, it's not. Is it all done? So it's last ones. So there we go. So if we're looking here now at dark steel, we've got 60. Why not? Oh. What did he ask for? I thought I asked for 64. Why have we got 67? Why have we got 67, guy? We're going to get 1. Yeah. That ain't got actually 1. Did he give me more than I wanted? I wonder if I had some when I was doing a couple of test runs. Try it again. 64 please. 64, 64, 64 to craft 64. So that should have all filled up again. And the routing's right with them. 24, 24, it says 27 last time, wasn't it? So it actually makes sense to show 24 there because it's taking 20 at a time. So I must have had 3 somewhere stuck in the system from when I was doing a couple of test things. But as you can see there, that was the plan, and it seems to work. So we're going to get another 20, then we're going to get a 4 on its own. So it still takes a little bit of time, but as you can imagine, if you just had one of these things going, then you've got to wait. You've got to wait for all of them to go. So we've got 4 more going there. So there we go, 64 of them. So that, I think, works. I will let you know if I can break it. But that was the plan anyway. A couple of things I've noticed from that I've got an issue with is, one is I'm going to have to have silicon on a, I'm going to have this silicon stuff on a level emitter craft, because you don't get a guaranteed silicon from a sand. 50% chance. So I think some recipes could get snagged up on that if I'm crafting on demand. So I'm going to make silicon. I'm going to make a sag mill for silicon. What I can do with the other stuff, by the way, the I said I was going to make more smelters. What I could do is, I think, if I get a ME interface, if I had loads of these, turns out, I've got one. I thought I had more than that. Must have used them all. If I've got an ME interface, I can always put on there the recipe for the Endarium base, and that only needs connecting to there. Of course, in these rooms, I'm using like 2 channels, and I've got 32 channels. I don't want to use the channels up because I might not keep this setup. I might change for other setups later on. So even though I'm only using a couple of channels in each room here, I actually want to keep them 32 channels dedicated for this room, just in case I want to change up what's in here. I need future-proofing it. But yeah, I should be able to just... I'm going to be able to do one at a time unless I put loads of interfaces on. Or have some kind of different setup. I'll have a think about that. But I will set up the Endarium base, because it makes more sense. What also I've realised is I need to get... If we come in here, I need to get this Ender Farm working for me again, because it's just been sat there for ages. I'm making all that Luda crate for the turbines, Ben for all my Ender Pearls. Not sending no power into here, that's the issue. So I shall have to get this room connected again at least. Them guys, I'll forget about it. I emptied that out yesterday. My inventory was full. So many Ender Pearls, so many emeralds just from Britannia dropping them on me. So there we go, I'm going to wrap up the episode there. That's my ongoing work. It's a little bit boring, but I will get all these rooms sorted, and then we shall continue making some other stuff and some nice building stuff in this place. I've still got quite a bit of building stuff to do actually. Before I wrap up really quickly, mostly a talk episode, but we have got some kind of processing sorted. That, by the way, the idea for that was from I was watching the wrap up of the latest Forgecraft series of the day, and I believe that's how Fireball, the Applied Logistic Tool modder, that's kind of how he had his alloys set up. I don't know if he used the Hyper rationing pipes, but he had his alloys set up to be done in parallel processing, which makes more sense because it's so slow. So yeah, some things I need to do with this. I of course need to do these 2 roofs. Tree farm. I might just make that into a big tree farm in there. And I need to do this roof. So there's 3 roofs still to do. There's of course the 4 towers still to do. And then if you look down here, this is still lit with torches, so I need to light this floor. And then these rooms up here that I've never really been in need proper lighting and need some stuff in them. So offices and stuff, I guess. And then I don't know if I've ever shown this on camera, but I've got like a little shitty bedroom up here with some purple walls. And there's my bed. Some nice artwork and a bit of my old armour there. So yeah, I'm going to get some new armour soon, I think, because I've had this one off for a while. And oh, look at that, what an awesome trophy collection. What a half-assed trophy collection there. So thank you as always for watching. The next episode of this should be within the week. I'm going to carry on doing the P2P stuff, carry on getting stuff connected up, and then we should be back doing this in the mix with the other stuff. So thank you, and I'll see you next time, I hope. Cheers. Bye.